Alright, so what's up YouTube? It's your Monday guy Coley. Y'all know this topic this week is transgender men and women in athletics or sports. Um so yeah, this is one of my favorite topics because I'm really into sports and athletics. Transgender men and women in athletics, like, is it fair? I think that for being, as long as being fair, it's different for transgender men and transgender women, because for transgender men, as far as physically coming from strength wise, being strong, the build, everything, we coming from the bottom. And transgender women, they're coming from the top of the physical chain or whatever. Um, so the rules for, like, at least college sports as a transgender person is that if you're a trans man and you're not on testosterone, you can play in a women's sport or a men's sport. If you are a transgender woman and you're not on estrogen, you can only play in a men's sport. If you're a transgender man and you are on T, you can only play in a men's sport. If you're a transgender woman and you're on estrogen, you have to be on estrogen for 1 year before you can compete in a women's sport. So you still have to play with men's until you hit a year on estrogen or in your transition medically. So yeah, the rules are definitely different. As far as it being fair, I think that it's fair for transgender men to be able to compete, whether they're on T or not, because we come from the weaker side of the physical chain. So, like, if I want to participate in basketball, or I want to play football or soccer, all those three are contact sports. If I want to box, I'm just gonna be the weak one. I'm the only one with the downside of the situation. All the other basketball players, football players, soccer players, boxers, they don't. They're just coming from the top of the chain. They don't have nothing to worry about. But on the other hand, as a transgender woman trying to play basketball, soccer, boxing with cisgender women, that is different. You know what I mean? So what do you think, guys? Is that right? Like, I know the ethics are different because they come from the top. So, like, if Shaq said that he was trans women and he want to go to WNBA, versus Lisa Leslie saying she was a man and she want to go to the NBA. The dynamics there are very different. So I could see where the topic could be more controversial. But on the other hand, I am ignorant to trans women biological processes when it comes to their transitioning medically, like how it affects them, like their muscles and just everything, their strength. I don't know how it affects them, so I'm gonna just keep my 2 cents on the trans men side because I know a lot about our transition. um so yeah, as far as it being fair, I think that for women, trans women, is more controversial, but for trans men, it's definitely fair. The only person that's unfair for is the trans man, because we don't have the experience participating against men with that capability, or we coming from the bottom. We bench pressing 95 pounds, 115. You know what I mean? You come men, they throwing up 135. That's like the minimum. You know what I mean? So it's different. Um, should we no, I'm gonna do that one later. The transition from playing one sport, to another. Like, if you was a female basketball player and you find out you're transgender, what about transitioning and then playing as a man? That transition gotta be tough. Like I said before, you're gonna be coming from the bottom. You're gonna be, if you was in the weight room doing things that made you strong, like benching 115 10 times, as a female, you hitting it. You feel me? You doing your thing. As a man, that's lightweight. So, like, I think the transition will be tough, especially for a contact sport. Even non-contact sports like tennis or um, running, cross country, track and field, I still think it will be hard because there's speed. I mean, your legs are gonna get stronger, but they're weak now. You have to work to get that speed in, but I focus more on contact sports because that's like the more hard thing. You're gonna be getting knocked around, depending on your height. Your athletic background. I think that there's a lot of things that are against you when it comes to being a trans man and trying to play a sport, but I'm all for it. Like I said, I want to play in a man's college sport at my school, because I'm all for that. The next question that I just skipped over was, should we join others or should we join our own? Do I think we should have our own leagues, transgender league here and stuff like that? Hell no, because I feel like I'm just speaking for trans men right now, because like I said, I don't know transgender women whole process, so I'm just focused on us men right now. Um, I don't think we should have our own league, because like I said, it's unfair, or not. It's not unfair, but we have a disadvantage when it comes to trying to play in men's sport, and I think that in order to catch up, to play that basketball sport, and be as strong, as fast, as quick, jump as high as a cis man, or play football, play soccer, whatever you want to play. I think that the struggle is worth it. I think that the courage, the strength, the amount of work that you have to put in, the blood, sweat, and tears to be able to compete in that sport, that's what I'm all about. So for me, you know, I wouldn't want to be in some little trans bracket, where we don't have to work as hard to, get, we weaker, so we over here, we can't play with them. I would never want that. Hell yeah, let's go. Let me put in this work. I'm gonna have to outwork you to get, to get to where you are and to be better than you. I'm gonna have to outwork you because you got the experience of the contact, the experience of the culture in men's sports. You have all this stuff over me. I'm gonna have to outwork you. You know what I mean? And I'm all for that, mentality, the struggle, the grind. That's what I'm about. So I don't think we should have our own league. I think that we should have to struggle or just sit our ass down somewhere. Um, I mean, struggle as far as physically competing. I don't mean like being rejected and playing the sport. I think that we should be able to play and accept it. And I think times are changing because we got Skylar swimming at Harvard on the men's team. So, things are definitely changing. As far as like for transgender men joining the sport and being open, y'all know, if y'all been watching me, I'm all about being open because we need confidence and we can't be hiding. So for me, I say you go in there, you say, if this is what I would do, I'm trans, this is the situation, put me on your team. That's what I would say, because it's not gonna be easy, but I say, you don't have to worry about being outed, for one. Two, it's not common. There's only two people that I know that have transitioned and played in the sport they identify as, and that is a Olympic runner, a transgender man Olympic runner, and Skylar on the Harvard team. So there's not many of us. So it would be huge for you to do that. That would be groundbreaking for your community. So I definitely think that if you're gonna play a sport, be open. You can empower your people. Give more people courage to do that, to have the strength to want to, play in the sport. Maybe let's get someone in the contact sport. We ain't got no contact sports. We got swimming and running. That's all I know of. Um, let's get a basketball player. Let's get a football player in there. Soccer. You know what I mean? Let's get more. I would encourage that. But definitely, I always say be open. I think that you would give those men an experience to be around, trans people, and they'll see like, oh, you human. Oh shit, I didn't even know that. Like, all the rumors about trans people, the surgeries, the videos that people focus on that's not us, that would put all that away just by being open in the locker room, hanging out with your teammates. I think that the experience would benefit the trans community and the coaches that are involved. I think it would involve like benefit everybody, and I don't think that being closed you will be able to really get the full experience. You wouldn't have a genuine experience. How they going? Your parents come to your games, they can't even really talk about your past, struggle like that. No social media, no past talks. It's all not gonna be real. Like I say, just come in real. Like I'm transgender and this is the situation. Um, So yeah, I would definitely say be open. I think it will be more common in the future, transgender people in sports. As far as trans women go, I think it'll remain controversial on that end for a while. As far as trans men go, I don't think it'll be more common because I just don't. I see like a crazy complex between this trans man, cis man thing that goes on a lot, and being surrounded in a locker room. I know, we have dysphoria, but being in a locker room with for a man that has so much dysphoria, it's just not gonna work, and I just see not enough guys that are like Skylar, the one, that's at Harvard, that can just be in a locker room and be like, I'm trans, you feel me? Like, I'm me, he chilling, he go to the locker room, he compete in Speedos, no packer, no nothing, straight him. Straight with the scars out in the water and everything. And I don't think there's enough trans men out there that have like that drive, that type of courage. I'm not doubting us, but I'm just saying that from when I talk to guys and stuff, it just seems like there's a certain dynamic there that we got to get through. So I think that anyone watching this video that may not have that complex and wants to play a sport should, and they should be open about it to inspire those that may be too nervous to play. Yeah, so I definitely think, as far as it being more common, we got to get over our insecurities and just be like, here I am, I'm here, what's good? Like, this is me. I'm not what the media, I'm not some Jerry Springer person trying to trick you, all these things that take away from our identities. I'm not that. I'm human and I'm here to play. Like, I'm normal. This is my humanity. And I think that that's something that's very important. But as far as it being more common now, no, I don't think it'll be more common. I think there will be a selective few that go out there and do their thing, but it's not going to be like, oh my god, these trans people are taking over sports. Nah, it's not going to be like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna sum this up. If you watch this video and you want to play a sport, as a transgender man or a transgender woman, I'd encourage you to do it. We need more athletes out there that's really ready to grind, especially for you trans men out there, that's gonna put in the work, to catch up to cis men, and not only catch up but pass up, be better. I'd encourage you to do that, because that's what I'm trying to do right now. I don't know what sport, I don't know what's going on, what I'm gonna do, but I definitely want to play a sport. So yeah, thank you for watching my video. Tune in to the rest of the guys' videos. If you want to see me again, I'll be here every Monday. This your Monday guy signing out.